another Nirvana song today. So what you just heard there was Sappy by Nirvana, or my interpretation of the guitar solo of Sappy by Nirvana. We're going to be learning the guitar solo for Sappy and a little bit of the theory that goes behind it. We're tuned down a half a step on our guitar, so pick it up and let's go ahead and get at it. My name is Keith. Welcome back to the channel. Alright, so I was doing a little bit of research on Nirvana songs and what are some of Kurt Cobain's more famous or people's favorite guitar solos, and one that kept on popping up was Sappy, and I thought I'd give it a shot and interpret that solo for myself. So what you're going to learn today is my interpretation on that guitar solo and my interpretation on the theory behind that guitar solo. Now, it's arguable whether Kurt Cobain knew the theory behind stuff. He claims he didn't know theory and he just played based off of feel. Who the heck knows? It really doesn't matter, but what we can do is look at what he did put down on record and analyze it and then figure out the theory behind it, which might surprise you. Again, like I said, we're tuned down a half a step. I'm going to show you the chords to the verse. I'm going to play the solo real quick, and then we'll break it down into sections, learn the guitar solo. Alright, so the chords for the song, at least the verse, are a D, then a B flat, then a G, A, B flat, then a D, right? Those are four of the chords that are in that verse. That matters because we are going to be playing in the key of D flat, which is the key of the song. Let me go ahead and run through my interpretation of the guitar solo kind of slowly. We'll break it down into sections and dive into the theory. Alright, so that is the solo that I'm going to be showing you today. So let's talk about what that solo is and what scale he's using. We are using the D Dorian Scale, which is a mode. Now the D Dorian Scale consists of the same exact notes as a C major scale. C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, then back to the C. Notice there's no sharps, there's no flats, it's just straight notes. The only difference between a C major scale and a D Dorian is instead of starting on the C, you're starting on the second degree of that C major scale, which happens to be a D. So you have C is the 1, D is the 2. So we're starting on 2, which is the D. So we're going to go D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and that's a D Dorian mode. All the notes that we're playing in this guitar solo are in that D Dorian mode, so that's why it's kind of important. And as a result, all the notes are also in that C major scale because they're the same notes. But get this, we're playing the D Dorian mode and we're starting the solo on a C. So the D Dorian mode contains all the same notes as a C major scale, but we're starting the solo on a C. But then you think we're adding the fact that we're tuned down a half a step, so that C becomes a B, so we're starting the C major scale on a B, but we're really playing a D Dorian scale half a semitone down. Did that sound like a lot? Don't worry about it. I'm going to take the C major scale and the Dorian scale I got up here and just, boom, take them away, and I'm just going to go ahead and add the notes that we're going to be playing. During the process of breaking this down, I'm going to show you what notes we're playing via diagrams, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and then we could correlate those back to the mode that we're talking about. So we're tuned down a half a step, and we're going to start on that D Dorian mode on the what would be normally be a C right here on the A string 3rd fret. So I'm doing a hammer on from the 3rd to the 5th fret. Then I'm doing the same thing on the D string 3rd to the 5th fret, but I'm sliding right up to the 7th fret on the D string. So it's and then when we're there, we'll hit up and down again on the 5th to the 7th fret of the D string. and then right back down to the G string, 5th and 7th fret. And we're going to hang there for a second. So far we have this. And then from there we'll slide right up from the 7th to the 9th fret of the G string. And this is where we have those half bends. So we're going to bend it up a semitone or half a step. And this is going to be a little bit difficult to gauge because you don't want to go bending too high and go full note. You want to hit that sweet spot right in the middle. And then go back down to the 7th fret. So we're playing with the 9th fret and the 7th fret of that G string. So far we have this. That's section 1. Now section 2 would be this little walk down. I'll play what I consider section 2. Now that may seem like a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and throw this up there right now. All the notes that we're playing right here in that walk down and right back up in the D Dorian scale, all whole notes, C major scale. You'll notice that we're moving up and down, but we're hitting all the same exact notes that I highlighted right here, all the way up to the 12th fret on that E string. So we're going to go back. So here we are on the E string, so right after that bend, we're going to go right back to this low E string on the 8th fret to the 7th fret. And then we're going to start walking our way back down. From the 7th to the 5th to the 3rd to the 1st. Back to the 3rd, and then do a little bit of bend right here. And then after we do that, we're going to walk up to the 12th fret on those whole notes on the C major scale or D Dorian scale. And then when we're on the 10th fret, we're going to hit that 12th fret and do a slight bend. And then go back to the 10th fret. So it's... And then quickly slide up to the A string on the 12th fret. So it's... So one time real quick. And that's the end of that section. Now we're going to do another kind of walk up right here on that A string. Let's stop right there and look at what I did there. So after the... We're going to walk up from the 12th to the 14th to the 15th. Hammer on to the 17th fret of the A string. So we have... And then we're going to slide down to the D string, 15th to the 17th. Do something like that, just 15th, 17th, 15th. Then bend up on the 15th, and we're going to do a kind of blues lick, which is kind of unbecoming of what you would think of Nirvana, but he does it, so it's bend up on the 17th, on the D string, and then hit down, come home right there on the A string, 17th fret. So we have... Alright, from there on the D string, and the rest of the solo is going to be on the D string. We're going to go to the 14th fret and do that half bend, and then slightly kind of let it go back into tune. So we'll start with that pre-bend. And then go back down to the 12th fret. So it's... And then from here, we're going to hammer on from the 12th to the 14th fret of the D string. Go up to the 15th fret. Back to the 14th. then back to the 12th, back up to the 14th, and do this little hammer-on pull-off from the 14th to the 15th fret on that D string, then back down to the 12th fret. Sounds like a lot. Let me just start it from this bend right here. That's where we are so far, and then from here we're gonna go from the 12th to the 14th fret of the D string, and that's my signal to do the walk down in the same whole, kind of the same whole notes that we did the E string going up and down or down and up. We are gonna be doing the same thing, walking back down, but on a D string instead. So that's a 12th to the 10th fret to the 9th fret. And then here's where it gets easy. You just follow the dots on the fretboard all the way down to the D. So on the D string, it's... then back to the verse. So that's the gist of that guitar solo, and you will notice that all the notes that we played in that guitar solo are all in D Dorian. So if you could learn this guitar solo, which isn't too bad, then hey, you know the D Dorian scale. So I really do hope that helped you out, and if you did like it, please hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will talk to you next week. You have a wonderful day. Damn, that was so horrible.